Good evening, everybody. We are live for the first of many live watch-alongs tonight. We've got you covered. I'm sure Jay's Fight Talk's going to rock up any moment. Oh, Ezra Taylor has laid out Bulmeistars in the first punch fight. This is not going to be a live watch-along for too long. Wow. First shot of the fight, he's waved it off. Jeez. Wow, that is not going to last long. Ezra Taylor has completely bombed him out with a right hand over the top. Wow. What a shot. Jeez. You knew he wasn't getting up from that one. Well, he did get up in fairness to the man, but Jesus. This kid's a problem, Ezra Taylor. Get him in there. Get him in there with Louis Edmondson, Liam Cameron, and the likes. He's ready. He is ready. Man, that's a beautiful right hand over the top. I mean, jab from Bulmeistars and bang, right hand just detonated over the top. Oh, here's Jay. Yeah, we won't be too long on this one, mate.
Taxi driver, though. State of him.
I know. It is a solid right hand. That was a...
He needs a proper fight. That wasn't a proper fight. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't.
Yeah, he needs to be in with Liam or Louis Edmondson, I think, mate. How are you anyway, mate? You're good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I might chop and change. I've got dogs everywhere, scared of fireworks. What the world's biggest bonfire.
We were impromptu on for this fight, weren't we? This was just a bonus. We thought the Esserman fight was coming on, so we thought we'd hop in for Ezra Taylor. But realistically, we know Vaughan against Esserman's going to be a banger. Domestic dust up, that could be. Echo Esserman's always in for ones. Chantel against Bergholt, we know that's going to be a decent scrap as well. And the main event, just no words needed for the main event. That's just going to be.
I'm excited for it, to be fair. I mean, it's.
I think we're going to get some proper dust ups here, mate. These last three fights, I really do.
I'm not expecting that from Chantel Cameron, not unless she just jumps on her and stops her. I'm expecting that to be a bit boring, if I'm honest. I mean, not for me. I'll enjoy it. I don't mind skilled fights, but they're both pretty skilled. 2-minute rounds. I think Chantel Cameron's going to be chasing her for a lot of fight. But other than that, the fights either side, I expect to be, as you say, British matchups. There's a lot at stake in both matchups, really. So, they're both, not that people don't give it their all anyway. There's a little extra spice to the main event.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking they boxed each other in the amateurs?
Shabaz is 2-0 up on Liam in the amateurs.
Yeah.
Yet Liam's a big favourite to win tonight. So
that is the only thing that's going to go in Masoud's favour. If Liam Davies is sort of half thinking, I'll smash you.
Reckless and emotional, but Liam looks quite calculated. And then we got Shaki Foster against Hobson Conceição. I cannot wait for that one. You're gonna attempt to join me later for that one, are you, Jay?
Yeah, I'll attempt to. I always do. Whether I make it or not is a different.
We always try our best, mate. That's the.
I'm wanting to get up for it anyway. I've gone for Conceição round 6.
Yeah. Well, look, hopefully we might get a little segue from Shaki Foster against Conceição, the rematch, to Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi. I'm hoping.
That's a great fight as well.
I think that could be I think by the time that finishes, that could be starting, if you get what I mean. But
yeah.
But anyway, that was short work for Ezra. I mean, it's good for the pacing of the fights, I guess. But we'll wait. They're probably going to fill for a little while, so we may as well just fill on here for a little while before we move over to Echo Esserman against Ben Vaughan, which should be a good fight, by the way. I'm looking forward to that one. Echo always brings it.
I think it should be. I mean, Esserman starts as the favourite for me. I think if he turns up, it should be not an easy night's work, but he should be in control. But we know that domestic fights don't necessarily always go to script. or very rarely go to script. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for all three of these fights, to be honest. I know I've just sort of pissed on Chantel Cameron, but
should be good though. Like there'll be volume. They'll be fought in the phone box. I think, to be fair, the Cameron and Bergolt fight, there won't be much power probably coming from either of them, but they'll fight. Chantel's debut at Queensbury, I don't know if you remember it. I think it was on the Magnificent Seven headline by Nathan Heaney and Brad Paws.
Wasn't the best.
Well, it wasn't her best performance, but it was a fun fight.
Yeah, it was. What I mean, she's barely in boring fights. I know I've just said that this potentially could be boring, but she's boxed at a certain level and then steps up and boxes at world championship level. So she sort of blasts a lot of them out of there, or has it really easy. And then as she's gone up the levels, the fights have become ever so closer. She lost to Katie Taylor. She nicked the win in the first one. It's just the 2-minute rounds again. I think if Chantel Cameron had 3-minute rounds, she'd stop 99.9% of the girls that she boxes. She hits pretty hard. She's solid as well. I'm more excited to see what's next if she wins this. For the next fight for her. Is she going to call out Tasha Jonas? Is she going to go down? Because I believe she could go down as well. There's a lot of options for her. If she comes through tonight, but tonight's not a given. Her opponents come over from Sweden with the intentions of winning. She's not come over here as a paid opponent just to show up and go through the motions and make Chantel Cameron look good. She's come over here to win. And Chantel's going to have to mind her P's and Q's, because if she's not on point, she could lose this one. So yeah, there's a lot riding on all three fights. There's something for the winner of all of them to take away, and also the loser. It changes direction for some of the losers. But certainly the main event, they're both young enough to take a loss and still come back again. But in terms of Liam Davies, I mean, he's talking about being on the verge of real world titles, or he's got a fringe world title, hasn't he? The IBO. It's not really one of the four recognised, but still a world title in itself. Sorry, I've got a crying dog. Come here. Get up here.
No, you're all right. Yeah, I know what you mean, but don't say that in front of Chris Eubank Jr. anyway. He might, his ears might start to prick up a bit.
Come on up here. Come on.
No, my feelings on Liam, mate. I've spoke about it all week, but the closer it gets, Shabaz has looked pretty confident all week. I think they both look pretty gaunt at the weight. I can't even lie. I think they both look tired and sucked in at the weight at 122 yesterday. So I think it'll be interesting.
I think
Liam especially, I'll be honest, I thought Liam looked a bit tight at the weight. And do you know what? He made 121.6, Jay. He made 121.6.
Didn't look any different to what he normally looks to me. He looks thin anyway. Even when he's filled out, his face is fairly thin. His cheekbones are pretty defined. Masoud didn't look good at all. I mean, he didn't even look good at the sort, they have the gloves are off.
Yeah.
Rip off and rebrand. And they both looked like they were, obviously making weight and fairly close, but he just didn't look. He looked pretty grey for me. But making weight's tough. I've never done it myself, and I won't want to. It's hard enough to just try to lose weight over a sustained period of time, but certainly doing it in the short time frames that fighters do it in, 72, 48, and 24 hours, and some of them right up to the morning of the weigh-in. I don't think it's good. I mean, saying that now, Liam Davies will probably get stopped with a body shot. But I don't see it playing a major factor for me. I think they'll have both done it right. But it's the biggest fight for both of them.
Yeah, it's big.
It's a big fight.
It's Matchroom versus Queensbury as well, which not a lot of people are talking about. Shabaz is a Matchroom fighter.
Matchroom. Yeah,
and he's trained by Ben Davison. He was with him on the scales at the weigh-in yesterday. It's a sneaky big fight, this, and it's gaining quite a few headlines along the way.
Eddie Earns barely mentioned it. I don't think he wants to.
No, well, Eddie's not there. He sent Frank Smith.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to make a big deal out of it in case he loses again. It'll be like 37-0, won't it? Or but
oh yeah.
I think they're just showing highlights of
Echo Esserman against Owen Cooper. It was one of the domestic fights of the year. It was an absolute cracker.
I thought Esserman were dead when he got knocked out.
Yeah, he was done. He was done, mate.
His body stiffened up and everything. I thought, he's not getting up from that. And then
Yeah.
up he gets and
finish in the last round. Jesus.
Great fight. But the way he finished him as well, he had loads left, did Esserman, which I was surprised at. He flipping had loads left.
Don't call him the engine for nothing.
No, it reminds me of Ezra Davies when he first turned over. Just cardio on cardio. He's got really long levers as well, so he generates a fair bit of power. To say he's fairly short in terms of height, but he's got pretty long levers, generates a lot of power. So this should be a good scrap.
Yeah, we'll switch over to the stream
I don't know if he still is, but Nathan Heaney was on comms. I'm not sure if he still is because obviously we've got comms turned off. Nathan Heaney's pretty good on.
Yeah, I like Heaney. He's very unbiased and he knows his stuff. He does, definitely.
Yeah,
good fighter, man. He's tough.
Great fighter, but he's very good on the mic, decent in front of camera. I think we're seeing a burgeoning commentary career, or certainly he's making his way in for when he's out of the fight game, so to speak. I think it'd be easy for him to slip into, being behind and in front of the camera and in a different guise. So I think we're nearly ready now for Esserman Vaughan.
Yeah, anybody that's just tuning in, we just had a few drop in. Ezra Taylor bombed out Kristaps Bulmeistars with the first punch that he landed in the fight. Right hand over the top. Join me on the dark side said Heaney is genuine. Absolutely he is. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Love Nathan Heaney.
Comfortable for the fight.
Yeah, we're going to switch stream. We're going to change over when the ring walks happen, but there's no point doing it before that. Easy work for Ezra Taylor in the end. He needs to be stepped up now. He needs to move forward. You've got Louis Edmondson's the one with the target on his back now.
That's the fight. Yeah, that's the fight I'd like to see.
But if I'm Liam Cameron, I want that fight. I think Liam Cameron could beat Louis Edmondson.
You think so?
I think he could. I'm not saying he does, but I think it's a competitive fight.
I think people are getting a little bit excited as to, we can't all say Ben Whittaker's shite and then say Liam Cameron's hating to beat Ben Whittaker.
No, definitely. Like, let's be honest, Liam Cameron's not turned into.
But going on like Liam Cameron's, the second coming of Canelo now.
Sugar Ray Cameron.
And he was struggling with Ben Whittaker. I don't care whether he were coming into it or not. It's not as though he went in there and were doing the Ali shuffle and bolo punching him and stuff. It was fair. It was a close fight. I had him draw when it finished. The first time when I watched it live, I had Whittaker easily winning it. And now that I've watched it back,
we both did.
But they're all going on like Liam Cameron's this new kid on the block that's come. He's in the twilight of his career, really. Or he's in the second.
He's mid-30s, isn't he? He's not like he's a prospect or anything.
Absolutely not. He's just had a long time out because obviously he got stitched up with a very long ban for what it was. The couple of incidents that he had. I still think it was fairly long, but doping's doping, irrespective of whether it's recreational or performance enhancing. And I think recreational for me is also performance enhancing, dependent on what it is. But Liam's very good. I mean, he was an ABA champion, but he's not a light heavyweight. He's just he fights at that weight now because he's of a certain age and it's easy to make that weight. I think given the right nutrition, Liam Cameron could slip back down to super middleweight, and that's where he will be more of a force, because I think he hits harder at super middleweight. It's more his natural weight. I'm not sure if he turned over at middleweight, but super middleweight's definitely his weight.
He's definitely fighting above his natural weight. What do you think about this, Jay? Join me on the dark side. Says Liam Cameron, another solid fight. I need that rematch of Whittaker. Not sure he'll want it though.
Who? Ben Whittaker?
I think he's talking about Whittaker not wanting it.
I don't believe that. I think Ben Whittaker has to do it. I don't think his ego would let him not. If he carries on, he's come out of the dark and he's started taking the piss out of himself, which for me is great. Lean into it. I hope he comes out to his next press conference with a neck brace on and a plastic boot.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Play the heel. Go full on heel.
I would. Eye patch, neck brace, sling, plastic boot on, white stick, and have a nurse on standby just in case, or maybe a trick in his arm. Just lean into it now, Ben. Because I think he beats Cameron in the rematch. I think he'll beat him fairly fairly easily on points. Might even stop him because I think people are sort of writing off Ben as being no good, or he wasn't that good anyway. He just had a tough night and it ended in a bad way. But I still rate him. I didn't seen anything out of him that don't make me think he could go fairly far given the right fights. But I'm also enjoying the fact that Liam Cameron's got a bit of notoriety off it. He'll make some great money now, and he might be able to retire with a few quid in the bank, buy a nice big house, and he's been given an opportunity off of this. I think it's helped him. Ben Whittaker, it's obviously helped him, hasn't it? Ben Whittaker doing what
his name's massive now. It's Frank's behind him now.
Yeah, right. We've got Ben Vaughan making his ring walk. Are we swapping?
Okay, yeah, no, I'll swap over the stream. Yeah, be with you.